My name is Sandy Wood, and this is my testimony. I'm going to give you a little history about my background because it's easier to understand how I came to Seventh-day Adventist, because I did not grow up in the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I started out going to church with my mother, and we were Methodist, and so I pretty much went through the Methodist Church up until about mid-teenage years, I guess. But that's pretty much all I did. Was I went to church on Sundays, and we came home, we had our Sunday dinner, and that was all. But as I've gone through many trials and tribulations through my life, I knew I was missing something, and I wasn't sure what it was, so I went in various directions trying to seek out what I wanted to do, and I came across some information through a documentary. Well, since I love history, the documentary about the days of Noah was what I saw, and I decided to watch that. So it took me several nights to go through the documentary. And the first set, it was in 4 parts, and the first one was about the story of Noah and what happened, the flood and so forth. And then the second one was more about Scripture and about things within the Bible that I really had not paid a lot of attention to, obviously, going through just going to church and Sunday school. So as I was watching this, I became more intrigued about the information, and a lot of it related directly back to the Bible, and it appeared it was about the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I can't swear to that, but because it didn't really say that, but there were a lot of pastors and ministers that spoke within this documentary. And one of the things that they focused on was the 10 Commandments, which, I knew the 10 Commandments. I tried to follow them. But the one that struck me the most was about the Sabbath, and they went in depth and talked about that, and that the Sabbath was actually on Saturday, which I never realized that. That was not a thought process in my mind, because growing up in the Methodist Church, we always went to church on Sunday. So I really think that, one of the reasons I was drawn to this particular documentary was because I do believe God was leading me in that direction. So as I watched it and I started looking more into what churches within the area you went to church on Saturday, and I knew, obviously Jewish people go to synagogue on Saturday, but not being Jewish, I knew that wasn't going to fit. So then I discovered the Seventh-day Adventist. And this church actually is not very far from where I live, so my intention was to try this one first, and I would try another one and see which one I liked the best. Well, the first day that I actually walked into this church and went through the church service, it all felt so similar to what I used to go to when I went to the Methodist church. So, because I wasn't really aware of what Seventh-day Adventists believed in, so to speak. So it seemed pretty normal to me. So as I was leaving that first Saturday, one of the members of the congregation stopped me on the sidewalk, welcomed me to Patterson Avenue, and we just chatted quite a while. And one of the things I remember him saying to me, and his name was David, and I don't know his last name, but one of the things that he said to me was that he lived way out in Goochland area, and he said, but I would not go to any other church other than this one. And I talked to him a little bit about wanting to be baptized, and he remembered that because he came back to me probably about a year later and asked me if I'd ever gotten baptized, which I did on August 31st. But ever since I've joined this church, ever since the moment I've walked into this church, I've felt such a love from the congregation that I knew that this is where I needed to be. So that is my testimony.